Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So this is Journey with Fergie, and as you know, my channel is new and I'm trying to just share with everyone who comes across my videos some of the things that I do in my life. So basically my channel is about pretty much hopefully, entertaining and connecting with people who hopefully are like-minded, but not just people who are like-minded, but anyone can watch these videos. Today I'm going to do a little bit of cooking. Let me say, my disclaimer is I am not a chef at all, but I do know how to cook. I'm Jamaican, and that's a part of our DNA, right? So we are taught to cook. Doesn't matter if you're male or female, cooking is just something that we do. So today I'm going to make a typical Jamaican breakfast because I'm home and I thought to myself, I need to make something to eat. And if I'm making something to eat, maybe I can video it. So that's where this whole thought came from, just being hungry and wanting to get something to eat. So I'm going to make a traditional Jamaican breakfast. It's Ackee Saltfish. And I already went ahead, of course, and got the ingredients prepared. And I'm just going to, as I'm going through this quick process, I'm talking about what I'm doing. And hopefully some of you guys will probably do it a little different. You can leave your comment below, or if you have any questions, you can ask questions. And of course, being that I'm a new channel and I'm definitely want to get people to subscribe, I want to get people to like and share. And hopefully, I can build up an audience. So thank you for joining, or thank you if you just clicked on it, you come across it, thank you. All right, so I'm making Ackee Saltfish. It's a Jamaican dish, and it's very popular in Jamaica. It's very well known. So if you're Jamaican or Caribbean, you do know, you would have an idea of what it is I'm talking about. So I have the ingredients here already prepared. So for me, I like to have stuff ready so as soon as the cooking process starts, I can go right into it. I have here bell peppers. I like the colorful ones. So I have the bell pepper, I have onion. I went for not the traditional onion, this is the colored onion, so it's more the purplish onion. I have my garlic, minced garlic, because I love garlic, and garlic is great to use when you're cooking. I have some pepper. This is Scotch bonnet pepper. It's very hot. And I have thyme as well. I have the fish. This is codfish. It's salted. You have to boil it and to get some of the salt out. Soak it and boil it to get some of the salt out before you make this. And of course, the other main ingredient in the dish is the ackee. This is actually canned ackee. I do not have the fresh one. Of course, I don't live in Jamaica, so it'd be great to have the fresh one. So I went for the next best thing, which is the canned ackee. So these are all my ingredients. People also use tomatoes. I don't have any tomatoes as I'm making this, so I kind of opt out of going to get any or using it, but you can use tomatoes. Some people have other ingredients in theirs, but this is basically what I put in mine. So I'm going to go through the process. I already have the pot getting warm right here, so I'm just going to turn the camera around so you guys can see that. Maybe pull it up a little bit more. So I have the pot here. It's pretty much warm, or it's getting really warm. I already poured in my oil. I would say use the amount of oil that you think is best for what you're doing. You don't want it to be too soaked in oil, so you don't want to use too much of that. So I normally like to start out by adding the onions and just let it saute in the pot. So I'm gonna go with the onions first, let it saute. The reason why I add the onions first is because the onions are a little bit harder. So it takes a little longer for the onions to saute. So I put that in first, and as I put it in, you just have it saute. I normally keep the stove on low, not too high, keep it on low so that you can see as everything is being sauteed. So as the onion is being sauteed and it smells, you can get the smell of the onion. To me, it smells good. Some people would say it's not, but I like the smell of it. It's sauteing. So the next ingredient I just throw in as I go along, I'm gonna go with the bell peppers, or some people call it sweet pepper, but bell pepper. I have the colorful one, as I said here. Put that in, and of course, as you can see, it's becoming very colorful. It's becoming very colorful. So that is being sauteed as well. It takes a few minutes. Keep mixing it up so it won't stick or burn as you're doing that. And if you're using a non-stick pan, that's great. I'm using a regular pan here, so it's best to just keep stirring it around. And as that is being sauteed, make sure it's on the perfect heat. I turned it up a little bit from low to a little bit higher, and yeah, that is going pretty good so far. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pull the camera, because of course I'm doing this by myself. I don't have a camera person right now, but I'm going to pull it up a little bit more closer so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. So some of the time you'll be focusing on what's going on, and I might not be in the lens, but you'll be able to see what's going on. Great, so sauteing. And again, I like how colorful it looks so far. I like to use a lot of vegetables when I'm cooking, because not only is it good for you, it also, apart from the nutrition part of it, it just gives the food more volume. So you'll be able to eat this more than once, of course. All right, so now I'm going to add some more ingredient. I'm going to go for the garlic. I use minced garlic in pretty much everything I make. It's really good for you, it's healthy, and it's a must-have. So I just put that in, and I'm still sauteing, still mixing it in. It's sauteing. Okay, so while that's happening, I just want to make sure I come a little bit closer so you guys can really see what's going on here in the pot. So I have the bell peppers, I have the onion, as I told you, I'm using a colorful onion, and I have my garlic in there. It smells so good. Now I'm going to put in thyme. So thyme these are ingredient wise, it's great to use. I'm not using any scallion this time. I'm just using thyme because I've already used onion, and you can use scallion if you want, but I don't want to use that as well. I'm going to put in my pepper. This is very spicy. This is bell pepper, so it's similar to jalapeno, but this is the Jamaican version. It's called Scotch bonnet pepper. It's very hot, so I would caution you to just use a little bit, or skip that if you're not into spicy stuff. I love spicy stuff, so I definitely put that in my ingredient. But again, you don't have to use it if you're not really into spicy stuff. And again, this is sauteing. So these are the ingredients that I'm going to use, apart from the two main ingredients, which is the ackee, and of course the codfish, which is salted, and I had to get that soaked and then really boil it about 2 or 3 times, not for long, just to get the salt out of it. So as you can see, it's very colorful, very colorful. Everything is being sauteed pretty well, right? So now I'm going to add my other ingredient, which is the saltfish or the codfish. As I said, you have to, of course, soak it or boil it just to get some of the salt out. It's very important that you do that, because you want to make sure that it's not too salty when you make this. So as you can see, they're in big chunks. I didn't really mince them up, but that will happen in the process of it being sauteed. So okay, so now that that's in there, I'm going to just mix it in, because I want it to be sauteed in it. I'm just going to mix it in the process. And you can probably do this for a few minutes, just keep mixing it in. Again, pay close attention to the temperature of the stove. You don't want anything to burn, but you also want to make sure that you keep the temperature to a temperature that's ideal for everything to be blended in properly. Also, I did not use a lot of oil, but again, it's up to you. You want to make sure that there's enough oil in here so that it's sauteed properly, and you don't have anything like sticking or anything like that. So use your judgment on that when you're doing that part. All right, so this is great. The color, it's just the blend of colors. It's just awesome. Everything is being really mixed in properly. As you can see, it smells really, really good. I'm really can't wait to eat this. Ackee saltfish is one of my favorite dish. I don't get to make it often, but it's something that I always have when I travel to Jamaica. It's even better there because they use the actual fresh ackee from the tree as opposed to the canned version that I have to use here because I don't have access to that. Yeah, but that works as well. It's not the fresh part is what we would miss in regards to that. All right, so this is good. This smells good. It smells good. It's sauteing really well. This will just go on for another like minute or two. And then I'm going to add the ackee, which is the other main ingredient. And then I'm going to put some powdered season in it just to flavor it a little bit more. You can add other ingredients like basil and all those other ingredients that you normally have in your kitchen garden, which I'm trying to start up. And so you can put those in there to add really nice ingredients to your dish. Okay, so now I'm going to put in the ackee. You put in the ackee last because it's boiled and it's pretty much the more fragile part of the meal. Where I say fragile is it will kind of get mushy if you put it in early and then you have to be storing it around. So you don't want that to happen. So you put that ingredient in last. I can smell everything is being sauteed really well, and it smells really good. I can't stress that enough. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and add the ackee. Again, as I said, you don't want to put this in too early because you do not want it to get too mushy. Now, this is just going to add to the colorful ingredients that are already in here, but not only that, this is the main ingredient in this process. So right there, I add a can of ackee. This is Grace ackee I bought, so it's a can. You want to, when you add ackee, you want to, as you're storing it, you want to like fold because you do not want it to break apart so much. So you want to like fold it. Add, fold. Oh, this is just so good. It looks really delicious. It's so colorful. The mixture of ingredients. I'm actually going to add some powdered season now, so we're almost finished. So I don't add a lot of powdered season to this dish because it's a very simple dish to make, but you don't want to over season it. So I'll add some black pepper, and that you sprinkle. You use your discretion with that. And for most people, that's all they use is a little black pepper. For me, I'm going to add, in addition to some black pepper, a little, it's called original combo season. So it's like an all-purpose season. I just add a little bit of that to it as well, just to add to the taste. Again, use your discretion on that in regards to how much seasoning you use and if you want to use those two seasons at all. Now, this is great. Now, this just needs to be sauteed for like another minute or two, and you're pretty much finished with this dish. Just another minute or two, and it's pretty much finished. It's very colorful, and with this dish, normally for breakfast, you can make some fried dumplings or some festival or some bammies, depending on what you feel for. I'm going to make some festival with it, and of course, I will post the final product at the end for you to see. I'll post the final product at the end for you to see. I'm not going to go through the step of the making the festival because that's pretty much comes in a pack. and I just actually add water to it and then make those little rolls and put them in the pan. But this is the main part of the dish that you have to go through a few processes to make. This is great. It smells great. It looks great, and I can assure you it will taste great as well. So I'm gonna post the final product in a minute as this finished sauteing. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching this. I hope that some of you guys who do it a little differently, you can post, send me some comments on that. This is just a part of the process that I do when I'm home and I want to make something to eat. I tend to want to get into the kitchen and do a little cooking myself. I've learned most of what I cook from home, from growing up, in the island, and from growing up with my island background cooking. So I can help myself in the kitchen. Thank you for joining me for this, guys. Please make sure that you're you're sharing, and you're subscribing to this channel, because this channel is going to be filled with really interesting and fun stuff as you guys accompany me on this journey. I do appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you again. And of course, below I will leave the ingredients that I use in regards to this dish. Thank you. Thanks for visiting A Journey with Fergie. I really appreciate you. Be blessed.